The outcome of today's game, I was prepared for, but the Jaden Daniels injury really set me over the edge. Make sure you guys, if you're just joining, smash that like button. We already got 10 people in here. I need all of y'all to hit that like button. This game hurts, but I can't say I'm not used to the pain, and I can't say I'm not braced to the pain because I know what it feels like, and I've done this and I've been a fan for so long. The season is over for the Washington Commanders. The season is over for the Washington Commanders, and I told y'all that we're not getting 2024 back, and I thought this year was going to go really well, but injuries have just plagued this year, and it all started from the summer. The Terry and Adam, the Terry and Adam conflict. The practices less than 1 hour with no pads. The rest days every Wednesday. I can't say that I didn't expect it. We got 23 people in here. I need all of y'all to click that like button. Let's get to 20 likes right away on this stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and send a super chat. Any super chat helps me out a lot, man. The season is over for the Washington Commanders. I love this team and I'm not going to quit. But the team hates me and they've shown me that they hate me for years. Last year was a delight, but I think Jaden is out for what seems to be a while now. He's going to be out for a while. And, at least the Broncos won. But the season for our team, for our Washington Commanders, is over. And you're not going to see, you're likely not going to see Jaden Daniels for a while. But again, I'm not going to quit on this team. To make sure your comment is read, make sure you send a super chat. The season is over. Injuries are too much, and Jaden is going 6-11 season. It's looking like a 7-10 season, right? You're not, injuries just killed you. I mean, you didn't have any options. There was no options today. You had no one to throw to. The defense, and for those of you saying the defense is better than it was last year, it's not. I mean, the defense is a complete joke. But I'm not in the mood. I'm not really in a yelling mood right now. I'm in a just upset mood. But again, I've done this. Like I've been so loyal to this team. I know what this feels like. I'm braced for this kind of pain. This is what sports is. What's going on, my guy Dwayne? It's over. Everyone was trash. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be a fun rest of the season. And honestly, mock draft day might start tomorrow. I'm just kidding, but it's not looking good, man. And the defense is just it's awful. It's it's unwatchable. It's laughable. It's very laughable. Make sure y'all click that like button if you're just joining. Let's get to 20 likes in the stream, y'all. We got 42 in the chat. I need all of y'all in here to smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Send a super chat to support, man. Any super chats help out a lot, man. So, hello, draft. Yeah, we're going to have to improve this team a lot. They get you every year. They do, right? And again, I'm going to be loyal. I'm sticking it out for this year. And obviously, I'm coming back next year. But this year, it's just really going to be hard to, to sit back and watch this team. And Jaden gave the thumbs up to his mom, right? So that's a good sign, but it really doesn't matter because the team sucks, And again, it's all going back to the summer. It all is back to the summer, right? It's all back to the no pads practice. It's all back to the less than 1 hour practices. You can see by the penalties, you can see by the tackling, you can see when you have a lack of discipline and practice, it shows. It shows when you don't go hard enough in the summer. And the Terry and Adam Peters conflict, it shows when you aren't disciplined over the summer. It shows, right? It shows. This team just didn't want it enough. They thought they had it all figured out. Everybody thought we had it all figured out, and we didn't. destroyed by the Cowboys by a score of 44-22. Make sure y'all all click that like button. Let's get to 20 likes in the stream, y'all. We got 49 people in here, so I need all of y'all to click that like button. I need all of y'all to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We are 1 subscriber away from 2,540. And send a super to support. Any super chat helps me out a lot, man. And ensure your comment is read. Drop your thoughts about the game in a super chat. We're trying to reach 5 for tonight. What are you waiting for? Fire Joe Witt. Yeah, it's he's awful. Awful. I'm tired of watching it, but we're going to have to watch a team where it's, they're going to suck anyway the rest of the year. So you might as well leave him. And Dan Quinn's too soft to fire him. So he'll be here. He'll be here. Right? He'll be here. And we're going to have to deal with it for a while. But I just, again, I'm braced for this type of pain. So I'm not leaving. I'm braced for this, but the team in every aspect is cooked for the rest of the year. And again, you thought you had it all figured out. The penalties, the defense, the penalties, just everything is atrocious. Just pathetic, man. Embarrassing, to be honest with you. And then on top of that, the icing on the cake for all this is Jaden, and he's likely gone for a while. Like, it's just, this team, it's, they always let you down. When are we going to bench Lattimore? Soon, I mean, who else is going to step in and play that role, though? Like, just pathetic. What's going on, my guy? The offensive line and defensive line are trash. Yeah, right. I mean, offensive line is all right, but the penalties, man. First drive was Sam. Everybody's hyping up Sam Cosmi. But the first drive back with Sam Cosmi, he gets a false start penalty, kills the drive when we're trying to go for it on 4th down. It's the stuff that I just can't watch. It's stuff like that I literally just can't watch. And it started from week 1. I told you, I came on the post-game stream week 1, and I told you guys we had to clean up the penalties. And they never did it. And it's a lack of practice. Ertz, 2 costly mistakes. Ertz on the first drive of the game, Ertz could have had the 2-point conversion. He didn't finish the block. And then on one of the next few drives, he drops a pass that's right in his hands. I'm sorry, Zach Ertz. You don't need a rest day every Wednesday. Because you've had too many mistakes this year. But again, that's the whole team. It's bad coaching. It's bad coaching, bad actions. And it's all around a joke. And it's not going to get better until you sit back and you think about what your team is. Because again, you thought you had it all figured out. You thought you had it all figured out this offseason. And again, guys, to ensure your comment is read, send a super chat to ensure your comment is read. Also, that will help me out a lot. So make sure you all smash that like button. If you just joined, hit the like button for me. Let's get to 50 likes on the stream, y'all. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure y'all send a super chat as well to support, man. You're talking about Zach Ertz. What the hell are you talking about? He's the least of our problems. Did you not watch the game? And, you might be right by a little bit because the team was, pathetic all around today. But Zach Ertz, the drops and the not finishing of blocks, you got to really watch this stuff, man. You got to really watch this stuff. You have to be locked into this stuff and watch this stuff. Because you didn't see the missed block that I saw. Trying to go for 2 on the first drive. You didn't see it. So he is a problem. But again, everyone was a problem, so I'm not going to list everyone's name. I'm not going to. But goal is 5 super chats for this. So click the 0 out of 5 target button in the chat to send a super chat and ensure your comment is read. Get ready for word salad Dan Quinn press conference. I'm not watching. I might not watch tomorrow. Again, it's just gonna be word salad, right? We got to clean up this week 1. Are you really going to work on it in practice? I don't think so. And can I trust him? Can I trust yourself? Clearly not. Clearly not. It's all a joke. It's all a joke. And the season has come to an end by week 7. What a bad loss. I need y'all all to smash that like button, though. Let's try and reach 40 likes on this stream, y'all. So I need all of y'all to click that like button, click that subscribe button if you're new around here. 2026 Senior Citizen Draft Class Gold Jackets. I always knew Drake May was the better quarterback. RG3 flashback. We love the dumb black quarterbacks. I mean, again, we're braced for it. We're braced for it, right? And this all and there's a guy named I'm sure you guys know him at Burgundy Blog on X. Go subscribe, go follow Burgundy Blog on X. He said this all felt inevitable, and I think that sums it up perfect. This was all too good to be true. Dan Quinn thought he had it figured out. It's as simple as that. Dan Quinn thought he had it all figured out. He didn't take the summer hard enough. Adam and Terry didn't get their crap together, and it, you know, when you do that, it looks like this. It looks like this. Like, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This team, they just sold. Doctor explained that Jaden Daniels could have suffered a hip flexor and could possibly keep him out for the majority of the season. Yeah, I mean, I would assume Jaden is probably done for the year, right? I mean, you assume Jaden's probably out for most of the year. That's just what I assume. That's just what I assume. But this whole year from the jump has been trash. This whole year has been trash. This whole year, it just started out terrible. You can talk about benching guys. You can talk about firing guys, and maybe they should, but only for the principle, because I'm honestly not sure they have any such moves to make that will likely bring about meaningful improvement. We're the worst team in the division right now, currently. We're the worst team in the division right now, currently. So, season's done for sure. The season's done for sure. And this defense is just awful. It's just atrocious. And so you have to make serious changes, and you have to take next offseason way more serious. How does Lattimore run into bad tackling Quan Martin for Lamb's touchdown? That's what they've looked like all year. I mean, that drive, I just don't know how you run into each other. I just don't know how you do it. Like, I can you please watch where you're going? You know, but that's the defense this year. It's sickening. On the bright side, Daron Payne looked really good. Daron Payne looked really good today. That's on the bright side. These injuries are a result of not being locked in during the summer. Exactly. You know, you didn't prepare your body in the summer. You didn't prepare your body in the summer. Again, you had practices that you didn't wear pads and that they were less than an hour. Like, that's a problem. It's a problem. You didn't prepare your body for the season. Lattimore needs to go, of course, but you're not gonna move on from him and have some sort of big improvement. Like, it's just, you're just gonna have to ride it out, sadly. What JD5 is just too fragile. A little bit fragile. He's a little bit fragile, right? But ultimately he did the best, and he just got injured. He tried the best he could. But let's try and get to 50 likes in the stream, y'all. Smash that like button. Let's get those likes up. Let's try and get to 50 likes. Subscribe if you're new around here to join the family, and send a super chat to support. You can click the 0 out of 5 target button in the chat to send a super chat, man. So, who are we gonna draft with a top 6 pick? It's all about tanking now, right? That's what I would prefer, but they're not going to do that, which is fine. Team still trash. Defense is trash, yes. And I mean, you had Chris Moore as your wide receiver one. Like, what else did you expect? And the first drive when the defense came out there and looked horrible, like, what else did you expect? I tweeted that out. I said, what else did you expect? What offense came out of there and just gave up huge plays? Like, what else did you expect? You know, like it's just we're just not prepared. Like it's bad coaching too. He's not fragile. That was the third uncalled hip drop that hurt him. Yeah, I mean, I guess. By the way, that PI call was just awful that they called that one time, right? I can't remember. It was one of the last drives of the game. Either way, it was just this breaks your heart. This is heartbreaking, you know? But at the same time, um, we have a game to play next Monday Night Football. Next Monday night, sorry. So, Jaden's probably going to be out for a lot of the season. And yes, you have a reason to be frustrated. You should be frustrated. You should be frustrated. I would fire Joe Witt, obviously, but we got some new viewers in the chat, so make sure y'all smash that like button. We're trying to reach 50 likes in the stream, y'all, so I need everyone in here to click the like button, click the subscribe button to join the family, and make sure y'all send a super chat to support. You can click the target button with the 0 out of 5 on it to send a super chat and ensure your comment is read. You didn't lose because of a bad call. Dallas destroyed you. I know. I never claimed that the bad call was the game. The game was over when the bad call happened. Pay attention. Never said that, man. The Commanders got destroyed by Dallas. Really? Hope Terry and Noah buy something nice with their big paychecks this week. You're getting paid to play football. You're getting paid to play football. I don't understand why Terry is not going to come out here and play. Like, you have to be able to push through. You look back. I mean, these guys from 30 years ago that played on this team are just laughing at this team and this unit. They're just laughing at some of these players because they don't take it serious. Why aren't you really trying to get back on the field, man? You need to get on the field. Like, Terry, play, man. You got paid for a reason. Like, and it all started bad, and most of it's because of Terry. And I hate to say that. I hate to say it, but most of it is because of Terry. We look like 2020 Jets in this game. No more Dans on my football team, please. Dan Snyder, Dan Quinn. Houston happy that second going to be high. I just, it's hard to comprehend that the season's over by this point. It's hard to comprehend that the season's over. But it is. But it is over. And you're not, you just suck. You just suck. And again, it all started from the summer. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's try and get to 50 likes in the stream, y'all. I need all of y'all to click that like button. I need all of y'all to click that subscribe button if you're new around here. And make sure you send a super chat to support. You can click the target button with the 0 out of 5 on it to send a super chat. That's how you're going to make sure your comment is read and support this channel. How about them Cowboys? Congrats to y'all. And why they're poking his chest out, and the announcers are saying that they look like the 85 Bears because we had 3 of our. So I don't know why they're saying that. I don't know why Eberflus is poking his chest out. He's acting like he did something. I don't know why everybody's talking about us switching the defense or them switching their defense, and it was such an improvement. Like, of course you're going to switch the defense. They're not going to worry about our passing attack at all. Why should they? Why should they? We trash? Yeah. The defense is trash. The offense, when healthy, is not terrible, but I mean, it's hard. This team, you just, again, we're all, if you're loyal to this team, if you've been around this for a while, you're braced for this. Okay, you're braced for it. So, to be honest, we're doing what we did in Rivera's first year, won the division, and then downhill from there. Only we went to the NFC Championship in DQ's first year, and we have a quarterback. Like, I know that he gets hurt a lot, right? I understand he seemingly gets hurt a lot, and that's going to be the problem. But he he is top 5, right? Like he's a dog, right? He's a dog at quarterback. You know, we have a dog at quarterback. That's the only positive. And I still believe that. I don't want y'all coming in here saying that, he sucks or anything. Like, we have a dog at quarterback still. But this season is over right now. This season is over. That's the reality of the situation. And quite frankly, I'm glad that we don't have to watch this defense and actually try and look and go out there and, Monday Night Football, you actually have to watch this defense like you have a chance to win the game. I'm glad we don't have to religiously watch this defense anymore because it's hard to watch. What's going on, my guy Todd? Make sure you click the target button with the 0 out of 5 on it to send a super chat, y'all. Hey, Carter, I'm ticked off right now that we lost the defense. Better get their crap together against Kansas City is next. Not giving up on this team. We're going to figure this out. Keep your head up. Hail to the Commanders. I love the positivity, Todd, but I think most of us have given up on the team, right? I don't, nobody likes the situation that we're in. This is because Jaden's going to be out for likely most of the year. At least the Giants lost is what I'm saying. But I respect the positivity, right? But I'm personally, and this is just my opinion, I'm personally out on the season because I feel like we're done, right? The defense, if we played in any competitive game from here on out this season, like the defense is not good enough to keep us in any game. We've learned that. The defense sucks. The defense is awful. And I'm glad we don't have to religiously watch it anymore. We know that our season's done. What is Terry's injury exactly? Every time I see a player's pregame walk-ins, he looks fine. It's a quad injury, and I don't know. But again, the guys back in the old days would have just said, F it. F it. We have to have this win. We have to win the game. F it. I'm going out there to play. I don't care what the injury is. But Terry's not man enough for that. Terry's not man enough for it. And he begged and begged and begged Adam Peters. He told Adam Peters and said, I'm not going to get hurt like everybody else. I'm not going to get hurt like everybody else when they go over 30. I'm not going to get hurt like everybody else when I go over 30. You guys need to pay me because you need me. And the analytics of Adam Peters won, and the conflict between them two ruined it all. And the summer ruined it all. We got to keep it real, y'all. We got to keep it real. We suck, and this season's done. We got to keep it real as a fan base. No, we don't have to go hate on Jaden. We don't have to hate on anyone. But we do have to keep it real and say the team, the defense sucks. And these guys are not tough, and it's a lack of discipline. There's too many penalties. There's just so many mistakes that I can point out right now. Terry got his $100 million, and now he's not even in the lineup. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like he jinxed himself, right? That's what it feels like. But, I mean, I've seen this before. I've seen it before. And this obviously this sucks. So make sure y'all all click that like button. Let's reach 50 likes in the stream, y'all. I need y'all to help me reach 50 likes in the stream. And I need y'all to click that subscribe button if you are not subscribed to this channel to join the family of Commanders fans and everyone. This is a safe space for all NFL fans. And make sure you send a super chat to support. Click the 0 out of 5 target button in the chat to send a super chat. And that's how you're going to support this channel. And that's how you're also going to drop your thoughts about this game. The season is done. And we just we just we just didn't have enough. From the beginning, you could tell that we were going to lose this game. From the beginning, we knew that we were going to lose this game because the defense just sucks. The defense is just awful. This franchise is a joke. Carter, I don't know how long you've been a fan. My whole freaking life I've been a fan. That's why I'm braced for this. I know this type of pain. This was inevitable. This had to happen because it seemed too good to be true. So I've been around forever. Just look for another team, bruh. Nah, no, I'm not. But this 44-22 loss, this felt like back to the old ways. That's what it felt like. And it's a mix between the fan base right now. You have some people saying season's over. Some people saying that we have lots of season left. But if you really look at this schedule, you'll know that like it's done. We're done. I'm just again, I'm in shock, really. And of course, Jaden gets hurt to make this all worse. Of course, you know, Dan Quinn got fired from Atlanta. Not enough talent and depth on this roster. Yeah, there's a lack of talent here, right? You didn't you thought you had it all figured out in the offseason. This team, they thought they had it all figured out in the offseason. They didn't feel the urge to go out and make necessary big moves. They didn't do that because they didn't feel like they need to because they thought they had it figured out. In reality, they didn't. They didn't have it figured out. They didn't. This franchise is cursed and doesn't have a winning mentality. Again, this was inevitable. You just felt like it was all too good to be true, and that's what it was. And that's what it was. And I'm not even that angry. I'm just upset. I'm just sad, right? Because we suck, and we have to live with this. Will you be going to any games this year? I'm going to the Seattle game. I pray for you. I pray for you. I already went to week 1. I already went to the Thank God I already went to the Giants game. Thank God I already went to the Giants game. So I already went to my game this year. I'm staying inside now. I'm not going to any more games until next year. So no, I will not be going to any more games this year. Make sure y'all send a super chat to support. Any super chat helps out a lot. So we're trying to get 5 super chats on this stream. So make sure y'all send a super chat to support. Also, get me to 50 likes on this stream. Also, subscribe to the channel. If you're sitting here and you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to join the family. Washington is a joke and always will be. They needed to stockpile draft choices and build a young team around Jaden. Yeah, I mean, it's again, they thought they had it all figured out. They thought they had it all figured out. They thought they had it all figured out, and they didn't. And that's the problem. You didn't have it all figured out. Unfortunately for Jaden, football is a contact sport. Again, I'm not going to sit here and compare him to RG3 because I don't feel like wasting my heart out like that. But he does get hurt a lot, right? But he's still a dog, man. That's the best thing that we've ever had around here. I've been a fan since I was 5 years old. I'm now 32, very used to this feeling. Last year was the happiest I've ever been with this team. Again, yes. And you and me, we've stuck it out. We've stuck it out. We've been loyal. Why would we leave now? But I'm just at a loss for words, Again, I'm braced for this like you. I'm braced for this. I know this feeling. We know this feeling. Dwayne, we know this feeling. But goal is 5 super chats, y'all. So if y'all could send a super chat with your thoughts about the game in it, that would be greatly appreciated. Just share your comments or share your thoughts in the comment section. And ugly. And make sure you click that like button if you're just joining. Let's get to 100 likes on this stream. Washington just can't beat Dak. It seems like that, but again, Dak got very lucky with this defense that we have. I don't know how to feel. I know we're not making the playoffs, but it's getting hard watching them play. I don't know who to watch. We don't switch now. That's what I'll tell you. Don't switch now, especially unless you just join this team. Don't switch now, because most of you in the chat, like me, were around and you were loyal for the longest time. So don't switch now. That's what I'll say. But yeah, don't go watch someone else now. But this has certainly been very disappointing. Very disappointing. And it feels like Jaden's going to be out for the majority of the season. Why would Terry even want to come back now? I don't know. He certainly doesn't care. Terry certainly doesn't care. I hope I go to another game this season with my mom. I will not give up on this team. I'm 42. I've been a fan since I was 18. I'm loyal and stuck it out as well. Hey, that's awesome. That is awesome. But me personally, I feel like this season's over. But and I would love to go to another game, but I just don't. I'm not spending the money on it to do it. Right? Not spending that money to do it. But you have fun if you go to another game, Todd. And I truly do appreciate the positivity around here. But my brain, I'm just not that positive as you, right? F. Terry, yeah. I mean, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. So, you think this was bad? Wait until Kansas City brought. I'm not going to be looking forward to it. Not going to be looking forward to it. That's for sure. How is Dak lucky when he's leading to the league as the best quarterback? No one can touch that offense with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. It's just too nasty. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he hasn't been top 5. He's been a top 5 quarterback this year. But he also faced our defense, and our defense really does suck, man. So, trying to figure out how doesn't outplay Lattimore at this point. Iggy, no, Igbenogany. Yeah, they hate Igbenogany. They hate Igbenogany. I mean, he never plays. So, yeah, they're not going to put him out there. Also, they don't play the same position. So, Iggy's a nickel corner. Marshawn is an outside guy. So, let's get to 100 likes in the stream, y'all. I need y'all all to smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes in the stream. Also, let's get to 5 super chats, y'all. Let's get to 5 super chats. That's the goal. And subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. JD was missing wide receivers wide open. If that didn't happen, they dropped the ball. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Like Lane dropping the ball, Ertz dropping the ball. Sometimes it was Jaden's throws, right? It was all bad. Waiting for DQ to say Jaden out for weeks. It's hard to say, though. Yeah, he's going to be out for a while. And Dan Quinn's not going to give us an exact update, right? He's going to use the word salad and say, we don't know yet. We'll figure out more Wednesday. We'll guess the Bears spiral commander season like the Bears did last year. Well, again, we should not have lost Monday night, right? The Bears, well, I don't know. It feels like they wrecked our season, right? But I'm not here to talk about the Bears. I could care less. I don't give a crap about the Bears, really. I was 23 when we last won a Super Bowl. I can get Social Security soon. Let that sink in. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. And how you're still here, I don't know, but I appreciate it. Witt got to go. Of course, he's just been terrible. And again, the defense is undisciplined, too many penalties, too many PIs, right? It's Witt as well. Like, the next 3 games are hell. And the next 3 games are all freaking standalone, basically, right? Like, JD5 out for the year, broken leg. I know you're probably lying. So they hate Noah almost as much as they do B. Coleman and Ben Sinnott. I don't know what to say about those guys. I don't know. We are getting outcoached every game. That's what I mean. Again, week 2, you were Witt was outcoached. I mean, he was taken to the woodshed week 2 by LaFleur. Taken to the woodshed. So, I mean, we about to get flexed out of primetime. We're about to. You might not see this team, and to go back to your comment, Astro, we might not see this team on the next 3 games on primetime. I'm being serious. You might not see this team on primetime. Like, unless they find a way to get Jaden on the field, you might not see this team in primetime for a while. They're going to flex us out of it. But that's the least of the worries. I don't care. I don't want to be on primetime. I don't want the world watching this defense. I don't want it. So, but I'm just warning you. You're probably going to see us get flexed out of a lot of games. Who's even worth trading at the deadline? No one. You just ride it out until next year because you don't have any options that are going to heavily improve this team. Nobody that's going to come in here is going to heavily improve this team. I'm trying to figure out how the defense is more confused than last year, and most of our players played in the system last year. I mean, you thought you had the defense figured out, and you thought you had enough for the defense, right? You thought you had enough for the defense. You didn't care. You didn't care. You felt like you had enough to go out there and be real competitive. But Joe Wick Jr. was already on the hot seat going into this. So it's just it's again, it's a lack of discipline, and it's terrible. Like, they suck. They suck. Destroyed by the Cowboys. And again, this feels like old times. I hate to say it, this feels like old times. But if y'all can help me reach that super chat goal, that would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get to 5 super chats today. So someone get the super chat goal kicked off if y'all could. We're trying to reach 5 super chats today. So yeah. But I'm just upset. Again, I'm just upset. Like, very upset by this team. Very upset. And the season is done. The season is done. And Jaden didn't have the best game today, right? Jaden didn't have the best game today. Like, it's not on everybody else to blame as well. Like, nobody did good today. Nobody did good today. But make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Make sure y'all hit the like button on this stream if you have not done so yet. Make sure y'all send a super chat to support, man. You need to buckle up. We need to buckle up, man. You need to buckle up for the rest of this season. Are we the worst in the NFC East? And again, the one thing I don't want to hear, though, is the Drake May talk, right? Drake May has not played anyone competent this year, so I don't want to hear that. Mike McLaurin just said earlier, indications are that Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels' injury is nothing serious, but something to keep an eye on. Obviously, we will learn more this week, so that's an update. Good. But I don't want to risk another big injury for him, right? Like, the season's already over. The season is already over. So, we'll see. Dan Quinn worked with the Cowboys. You think he, with all that time he spent there, would kind of know how to approach them? That's what I said earlier this week. That's what I said earlier this week. I told y'all. I thought that we may have an advantage because he might know how to, coach against this team. But clearly he did not have any advantages or use anything to his advantage, right? Clearly. So it's just everything's awful right now. And you're not, even if this game wasn't season ending, you're not going anywhere because you suck, because the defense sucks. You're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. Like maybe this sophomore slump is real for Jaden. Expect us to get flexed out of games. That's what I just said. Yeah. Rashad Lattimore got to go. Marshawn, you mean? Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I would have never made that move. All of us at the time would have made the trade for Marshawn Lattimore. Every single one of us in the chat right now would have made the trade for Marshawn Lattimore. So I'm not going to get mad at AP for that, but that is his first big mistake as the Washington GM, right? That's the first big mistake from him as the Washington GM. Like, we can be real about that. We can be real about that. That's his first big mistake. And it's fine because even if we didn't have Lattimore, we'd suck, right? It's just all bad. It's just all bad. And the season is done. We're done, man. It's just an embarrassing loss. Be sellers. Be sellers at the deadline. Instead of talking about trading for guys, be sellers at the deadline. It's almost like the team lost after Jaden Daniels got hurt the first time, and they just thought their season was over when they started losing the easy games. I don't know. I mean, I definitely sucks that they lost those games. Definitely hurts. But you knew something was wrong when you're losing to the Falcons and Bears. You knew something was wrong when you're losing to the Falcons and Bears, and you just knew, right? So, but make sure y'all send a super chat, man. Any super chat helps out a lot. So, let's just try and get one super chat or two super chats today. So, if one of y'all could send a super chat, that would be greatly appreciated, man. The team got a coach the players love. They love him, but don't fear him. That is the problem. AP's second mistake is holding on to Noah Brown, always injured. Yeah, I mean, putting confidence and trust in Noah Brown, right? That was a mistake. But I mean, you thought that Debo, Terry, and Brown trio would be deadly, right? So half this probably going to be gone after the season. Yeah, sure, right? Dan Quinn just told the media Jane Daniels wanted to come back in, but we'll get an MRI on a hamstring tomorrow, and we'll give an update in the afternoon. All right. So thank you for the update. Again, feed me updates if you have any, if you're getting any, right? And then Marcus Mariota looked like a deer in headlights. To be honest with you, I didn't fairly analyze him enough. What do you think about our defense? Our defense needs to get younger. It sucks. Obviously, that's what I think about our defense. Everybody knows our defense sucks, right? Everybody knows it sucks. It's not good enough. So what pisses me off the most about Lattimore is what we traded for him for solely this year. This is his last year on the contract and a prove-it year, and we traded for him while injured last year. Again, bad decision by AP, but everybody in the chat right now would have made that move to trade for Marshawn Lattimore last year. They would have done it. So let's not reflect on that. Half this team going to be gone after this year. I mean, possibly, right? You need to make serious changes. He overthrew Luke. Yeah. It was bad throws by Jaden. And again, there's no one to throw to either. Dallas just needs trades on defense, and we are definitely something. Dallas, I mean, at least Dallas is a little bit better on defense than us. At least they have a little bit better of a defense. But this just feels like it just feels like old times, and it just feels like these bad vibes are back. But before last year, this was typical Commanders football. And you're not worried about this year anymore. You're worried about just getting Jaden back and just riding it out for the rest of the year. But this is sickening. And this I'm braced for it, but this is sickening. And it hurts and it's painful. And we were destroyed by the Dallas Cowboys today. And that's something that you never want to say. That's something that you never want to say as a unit. But make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes on this stream, y'all. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button to join the family. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And send a super chat to support. We're trying to get 5 super chats on the stream today. So click the target button with the 0 out of 5 on it. The white button to send a super chat. And that's how you're going to support this channel. So we're trying to get 5 super chats today. In the presser, Dan Quinn seems verbally upset and very disappointed and a bit of tears in his eyes. Really? Hold up. Let me see. I mean, I knew obviously he's upset, but I didn't know he would, have tears in his eyes. But I mean, he cares. He cares, but he didn't coach hard enough in the offseason. He didn't coach hard enough in the offseason. He didn't go hard enough in the offseason. That's what it's about. Your old players have aged out. Your old players have aged out. Can't blame Dan Snyder. You can't. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm a fan. Thank you, Joe. Really appreciate you, Joe. Thank you, man. And to support further to support this channel further and to keep it going, send a super chat to support, man. Appreciate you, Joe. Thank you, man. But again, this was just terrible. Just terrible. Hate to see it. It's sickening. Jeffrey Lord, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for sending the first super chat of the day. Really appreciate you, Jeffrey. Thank you for your support, man. So we do have 1 out of 5 super chats now, y'all. So appreciate you, Jeffrey, man. But this team goes out there and they lose in horrible fashion. And honestly, there's no excuses to make, because at the end, it just felt like they gave up, right? At the end, it just felt like they gave up. It just felt like you gave up and there was no run defense. There was nothing. But at that point, we didn't care about the defense, right? We just were worried about JD5 at that point. So, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And again, we're all braced for this. I know all of y'all in the chat are soldiers. We've all been through this before. We're braced for it. We're braced for it. We're about to get flexed out of a lot of primetime games. We're about to be embarrassed online for the next week. But Dan Quinn even said injuries are not why we lost this game. That's what Dan Quinn said. He said injuries are not why we lost this game. So DQ did say he's on the headset the whole game and very talkative throughout, so doesn't think he needs to take over play calling. He adds that after that performance, everything will be examined, though. So DQ just said everything will be examined. Does that mean that, we're going to get something with Joe Witt Jr.? Because what else can go wrong this year? Like, do you really feel like you need Joe Witt Jr. for the rest of the year? Go ahead and fire him. Fire him. Because his defense has just been awful. Obviously. The refs are not why we lost this game. The refs are not why we lost this game. The injuries are not why we lost this game. It's just a lack of discipline. By the way, Jaden Daniels said he wanted to go back in the game. Or that's what everybody's reporting. Dan Quinn said Jaden Daniels wanted to go back in the game. He's going to get an MRI, and we'll see if he can go Monday night. By the way, guys, if you're just joining, smash that like button. Let's get to 60 likes in the stream, y'all. I need all of y'all to click that like button. I need all of y'all to click that subscribe button on the channel to join the family, right? This is safe space for all NFL fans. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you send a super chat. We only need 4 more super chats to reach tonight's goal. So any super chat would be greatly appreciated. And let's get to some of these comments, though. To be honest, this is the most even NFL season in years as far as teams being within each other and how equal the teams are on the leaderboard. It's competitive. And that's why I said going into this week, I said, you can't be 1-3 in your conference and think you have a shot. And what we were, and this is why I'm going to say we were doing, because we're out of it, right? But what we were doing is backing ourselves into a wall where it's like the only option is to win the division. And now that's not an option, obviously, right? You had to capitalize on the games. You had to capitalize on the Falcons. You had to capitalize on the Bears. And we just weren't able to do it. And this year is just not the year. Every NFL year changes. Every NFL year changes. I don't care what anybody says. Every NFL year changes, man. You're never going to get that 2024 team back, and that's why I told you to cherish it. This team going to have a top 5 pick next year? I hope not, man. Like, at this point, maybe you want to tank. Maybe you want to tank, right? Maybe that's the goal. But for me, like, it would suck to have a top 5 pick. That's not what anybody wants. But come draft night, you want that, right? It's just all of it was a joke. So, we've really seen enough at this point. And we lost again. So make sure y'all click that like button if you have not done so. Let's get to 60 likes on the stream. You're not competitive enough. You lack discipline. You lack a lot of things. Really analyze yourself over these next few weeks. Really analyze yourself, man. I mean, even DQ said injuries were not the reason we lost this game. DQ said that. So what went wrong then? Like bad coaching, bad decisions, bad penalties, undisciplined football, bad tackling, bad angles. That's been the problem this year, right? That's been a problem. You know, it's so many problems I could count right now. What if Mariota gets hurt? Well, that doesn't honestly, that doesn't even matter because uh, the season's already over. So put Johnson in, whatever, right? Do you think Dan Quinn doing play calling makes a huge difference? No, I don't. I don't. Um, even DQ just said it in the press conference. He said, I'm in his headset, very talkative. Like, even DQ just said that. He's very talkative in Joe Wick Jr.'s headset. He's helping him out a lot. It's not, you're not going to make any changes that are a vast improvement. You're not going to make any changes that are really going to improve this team. But it's an embarrassing loss for sure. I mean, it's, it just felt like the old days, really. So, we just need to fire Joe Witt, and we just need to evaluate ourselves and really take this one to heart. This team sucks. And what the good thing is you used to cry to be 3-4. You used to really want to be 3-4 as a Commanders fan. Remember that year we beat the Colts to go to 3-4? But this year it's like you had really high expectations this year, and you have not lived up to it, obviously. Do you think we hired the right coach? If Ben Johnson took the interview, would we have hired him instead of Quinn? I don't know. I don't know. I think that Quinn had a great year last year. I don't know. But for me personally, I'm not ready to start having head coach talks yet, right? We're not there yet. We'll see how the rest of this year goes for that. At this rate, Cliff not going to get a head coach job. We'll see. I mean, he's still a great play caller. He's still a great play caller. I feel like ultimately he will get a job open up, and that's just going to hurt us more. That's just going to hurt us more ultimately, right? So it's you have a lot to to analyze here, and you have a lot to figure out. You have a lot to figure out. And Cliff was not good today either. Cliff was not a bright spot today either. I don't know how many times you're going to try to run the ball with Bill up the middle. I don't know how many times you're going to run the ball with Bill straight up the middle. Clearly, it's not working. Clearly, it's not working. Clearly. So, again, nobody was perfect today. Nobody did everything right today. Nobody. And it just feels like this team's falling apart right now. Feels like we're falling apart right now. We just lost to the Dallas Cowboys, guys. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Drop your thoughts in the comment section about this game. Send a super chat to support. Any super chat helps out a lot. We're trying to get to 5 super chats today. I was not impressed with anybody today, obviously. And again, the insult to injury was Jaden Daniels' injury, his fumble. It's hard to watch. It is very hard to watch. Luke McCaffrey's play. Luke McCaffrey, you got to be smarter and I know he came back in the game, but you got to be smarter than leaping over guys, right? You got to be smarter than that because we need you. That's the state we were at today. But make sure y'all click that like button. Let's get to 60 likes on the stream, y'all. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button to join this channel. What do you think our record is going to be at the end of the season? I really can't predict that because, I mean, who knows if they're going to give up or not, right? Who knows if they're going to give up or not? Who knows how soon we're going to get Jaden back, right? Like, I can't predict that, but you're looking at 7 wins, 8 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins. You're not making the playoffs with this defense. I'm sorry to say it. Jaden hamstring feeling like Dak's hamstring he suffered last year because he got an MRI. They said it wasn't that serious. Yes, I was thinking that after the game. It's likely, again, it's likely going to keep him out for a long time. So it's all bad, for Jaden. And he said he wanted to come back in the game. Like, he wasn't coming back in the game. He wasn't coming back in the game, right? He just was not. Just felt like they gave up at the end. It felt like they gave up at the end, and I should I expect that the rest of the year, right? Are they just going to give up the rest of the year? Because us fans have probably given up. And again, when we see these games being flexed, when we see these games being flexed down to 1 o'clock games, it's gonna hurt. And we didn't live up to expectations. We're fake. We're frauds. And injuries have depleted us this year. I mean, Dan Quinn said they're going to be looking at everything to fix on defense after the game. So, you thought you had it all figured out this offseason. You thought you had it all figured out this offseason, but you really didn't. And you didn't take training camp hard enough. You didn't take the summer hard enough. Terry and Adam Peters didn't get their crap together. And this is the result. And this is what you have to live with. We were only 1 game away from the Super Bowl. That's where we were. But that's last year. Again, every year is a new year in the NFL. That's what happens when you don't take the offseason serious enough. That's what happens when you think you have it all figured out. That's what happens, man, when you're just sitting there and you think you have it all figured out. You don't think you have to make any tough decisions, big moves. I mean, the season's over, and it really sucks. Really sucks, man. Changes have to happen. Changes have to be made. Because I'm tired of watching the same thing every Sunday. I'm tired of watching it. These next few games are going to be crap. You're really not going to have a lot of positivity moving forward. Do you think receivers were a big part of why things didn't go our way? Sure, right? We had all of our wide receivers out, but even Dan Quinn said himself that injuries weren't the reason we lost today. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, we lost because of injuries, right? Like, we had our receivers out and they didn't find a way to work around it. Find a way or find an excuse. Find a way or find an excuse, man. So I don't think that was the main reason. The defense is the main reason. But what else did we expect coming into this game? Like, that's what we expected coming into this game, man. That's what we expected coming into this game, right? It's what you expect. But make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's get to 70 likes on the stream, y'all. Click that like button if you've not done so. Click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you send a super chat. We have 1 out of 5 super chats, so we're trying to get 4 more super chats tonight. That's how you directly support this channel and keep the channel going. Drop your thoughts in the comment section about this game. We are now 3-4 with a 44-22 loss over the Dallas Cowboys, and we now are, staring at the season being over, right? You're staring at the season being over, and you're just staring at Jaden possibly being out for a long time. And I'm very upset with this team. Very upset with this team. Very upset with this team. Very upset with the performance today. I thought that they would come out better than that. But I was wrong. You expect us to still play the Seahawks on Sunday night or that getting flexed? Because I don't think they can start flexing Sunday night games until after week 9. Listen, I think that they're going to keep these next 2 games, right? Because ultimately, you're only 3-4. The NFL is going to look at it and they're going to say they're only 3-4. The Seahawks are what? 4-2, something like that. Like you're not, you're technically still in it for the NFC race. And so the NFL is going to look at that. They're going to say this could be a big week 9 game, but we might be 3-5 heading into that game. 3-5 is going to hurt. 3-5 is going to freaking hurt, man. 3-5 is going to hurt. I can just tell you all that right now. But make sure y'all click the target button with the 1 out of 5 on it to send a super chat. Again, that's how you're going to directly support the channel. That is how you are going to keep this channel going, man. It is time to finally bench Lattimore. And is anyone in the coaching staff on the hot seat? Yes, Joe Jr. is on the hot seat, man. Of course. But bench Lattimore, sure. Like, again, I don't know what that's going to do. What is benching Lattimore going to do for you? Who else is going to step up, fill his role, and play a lot better? Like, there's no big improvement that you can make this year unless you trade for someone. They're not going to trade for someone, though. So there's no big improvement that you can make. There's no big improvement that you can make. And this season is over for us. This season is over. So I'm going to have to find something. Bench Lattimore for Jonathan Jones. That's what they did at the end of the game. At the end of the game, they benched Lattimore for Jonathan Jones. So maybe they do that. But you'd have to be desperate to do that again. There's not a clear answer. It's not a clear answer back, right? Not get pass interference calls. Sure, I guess, right? I just don't see a major improvement there. I don't see a major improvement there. I don't see anyone that's going to be a major improvement. But make sure y'all click that like button. Let's get to 70 likes in the stream, y'all. I need everyone in here to hit the like button. I need everyone in here to be subscribed. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. All right. And then make sure y'all send a super chat to support. Any super chats help out a lot. Send a super chat to directly support this channel. You have to attack success. They had a chance this offseason and they got lazy with it. Again, they thought they had it all figured out. They thought that they didn't have to make any big moves. They thought that they could have practices less than an hour. They thought that they didn't have to put on the pads in training camp. They thought that it was all a joke over the summer and that they were going to get right back into gear, right back in, ready to play. But they weren't. They weren't. They weren't ready to play at all. And it really kills my soul to see this after the year we had last year. But that's what you expect when this weak offseason happens. That's what happens when this weak offense happens, or when this weak offseason happens. So I'm 49 and been a fan since 86. And this one, hold on. And this one of the more painful moments as a fan, I'm sick right now. Yeah, again, you didn't expect it to be this bad. You didn't expect it to be this bad. This is a painful moment. But again, me and you are braced for it, bro. We're braced for it. We've been through it. We're braced for it. We're braced for it. So this felt inevitable. No wonder why Dan Quinn got fired from Atlanta Falcons. Again, I'm not ready to start having head coach talks yet. So we'll set those aside for later. Go back to what they used last year. Mr. Michigan at corner, he's terrible. I've tried to tell people that Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Sammerstow sucks. Like, but it doesn't matter if you put him at outside or inside at cornerback. It doesn't matter. He's slow. His short legs don't move fast enough for this league. I'm sorry to tell you, his short legs don't move fast enough for this league. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. They don't move fast enough for this league. So you're not, he's just not good. He's just not good. And so but you don't have an option at corner this year. So you have to ride all this out to the end of the year. I mean, you have the Chiefs, Seahawks, and Lions. I mean, we wanted the bright lights, didn't we? We wanted the bright lights. We wanted the primetime games. We wanted it, right? We wanted it. Terry had a big part in throwing the offense chemistry off, sure, right? You didn't practice in the offseason. You didn't take the offense serious. You didn't take the offense serious. Terry does not care about this football team. He cares about money. And that's coming from a guy whose favorite player of all time is Terry McLaurin for Washington. He doesn't care. They were held hostage by McLaurin and they gave it into him. Dark cloud over the team started in camp. Horrible move bringing him back. That's, again, that's what I said. It all started from camp. It all started back from camp. It all started back from camp, right? Again, I've said this plenty of times tonight. You've heard this plenty of times. The practice is less than an hour. The practices with no pads on. The thinking you had it all figured out, like all of it led to this. All of it led to it. All of it led to this. This is what we deal with as fans. So make sure y'all send a super chat to support. We need 4 more super chats to reach tonight's goal. So make sure y'all send a super chat to keep this channel going and support the channel directly. Any super chat would be greatly appreciated. Just my humble opinion, I would cut ties with Terry. You just sign him to a contract, so you can't really do that. Fan since 83, management sucks. Yeah, it's hard to say that after last year, but it's been bad. Again, the summer was awful. It's undisciplined coaching. It's bad coaching. I hate losing to Dallas, of course, man. It's a rivalry game. It's a must-win rivalry game. You're 1-4 in your conference. Like, it sucks to lose this game, but we had everyone injured and our quarterback got hurt and the defense sucks. So you shouldn't have expected to beat Dak Prescott, who's been top 5 this year. You shouldn't have expected to beat George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, of course, CeeDee Lamb gets right back to work on us, right? Pause. But would Terry even be on the roster next year? That's a great question because they can get out of his new contract if things didn't work out. They've set it up where they can do that. I don't know. I'm not here. Like, I can't answer that question, but they're certainly going to have conversations about it. Because you just feel like you've been betrayed. You just feel like you've been lied to. You just feel like you've been betrayed. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. In trouble next year with limited picks. They added one from B-Rob, so you have 6 picks. I'm all in for tanking for next year. That's me. That's me. Dak still owns us, shaking my head. This is rough. Yeah, this is rough, man. He does own us, right? Dak owns us. We have to sit here. We have to admit it. Dak owns us. But he owns a defense that sucks, right? The defense sucks, and he owns a team that really didn't have many of their players available. Our team just don't have any superstars. We are old on defense and slow. Bill can't run with no holes. Our backup receivers can't get open. On to next year. This year is done. Yep. It's on to next year. It's on to next year. I'm off the train. I'm off the train, man. So it's again, it's bad coaching. You didn't pick up anyone in the offseason. I mean, you put confidence in a 7th round rookie running back. And you said you had to be running back by a committee team, but how many times is Cliff Kingsbury going to call the play where you just run it straight up the middle with Bill? Like, clearly it does not work. Clearly it does not work. You're right on all points, bro. The scary thing is that we don't have any picks next year. Hopefully we can stop being cheap and build a super team. They're going to have to do that. They're going to have to come to their senses and understand what they need to do. You're going to have to draft a wide receiver too. not to get older. I'm talking 2 stars in their early 20s. Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want, man. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all all click the like button. Let's get to 100 likes on the stream, y'all. And let's get to 5 super chats, y'all. We have 1 out of 5 super chats. Let's get to 5 super chats, y'all. Any super chat helps out. So we're just breaking down this game, though. We're just breaking down the game that just took place. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. You're not. Most of us aren't even mad right now. We're just upset. You know, this is never a good feeling, but we're all braced for it. All been through it. So, and with this defense, it honestly probably was expected. Would you be willing to trade someone away since season's over? I've already seen people say that we should be sellers, right? I've already seen that. So, I've seen that. Hey, man, don't pull all your fruits into the commander's basket. I've lived for 53 years on this earth. You'll get it as you go. So get used to it. Everything is bad on this. Slow, old, and bad. I was thinking after last year that it wasn't going to be that, and I was glad I stayed loyal with this team from last year. But ultimately, they don't care about me. You know, I love this team, but bro, they don't care about me. They don't care about us. So I see where you're coming from, bro. At least you telling it like it is, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be straight up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say anything wrong, right? Like, it's just we got embarrassed tonight. Like, that's how it went. You got embarrassed tonight. BTA. Belt to A. That's what happened. Belt to A. That's what it was. That's what it was tonight. So, team sucks, but a lot of primetime games left. A lot of games to watch for this team left. Might not be the most fun games to watch. You know, we suck. We suck. Cosme's first drive back as a commander, false start. Like, again, that's undisciplined football. There's too many penalties as well. This team deeply needs an edge rusher and a corner and a wide receiver and probably a tight end once Zach retires. You know, there's a lot of things that you can say we need. We need a lot of things right now. We need a lot of things right now. So it's depressing. It's depressing, man. It's not what you want the identity of this team to be. So, what's our draft capital next year? 6 picks. So, you have 6 picks. You have 6 opportunities to land a stud, right? You have 6 picks next year. And you added one by trading B-Rob, right? But I don't know if that was the right decision or not. Yeah, so you're looking at 6 picks. It's not a lot. It's something. And you're going to have to really analyze yourself. Make sure y'all click the like button. Let's get to 70 likes in the stream, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Make sure y'all send a super chat to support. We're trying to get to 5 super chats, and we currently have 1 out of 5. So let's try and get a few more super chats, y'all. They keep the channel going, man. Do we have a second? We traded our 2nd and 4th for Laramie Tunsil. So no. You don't have a second round pick. No. Trade Lattimore back to the Saints because I'm sick of him. Like, you're not going to be able to trade him because he's just nobody wants him. So, yeah, at anything you just release him. He's awful, right? It was a horrendous and embarrassing performance tonight. That isn't just all about the injuries, right? The 1-4 now in the NFC, the season just slips away. Season slips away slowly, again and again and again. Too many losses, man. Too many losses in your conference. This year was not the year. On the bright side, Deron Payne and Darnell Savage did look good tonight. Darnell Savage and Deron Payne did look good tonight, though. I will say that. I will say that. We're gonna finish last in the division. It looks like that right now. Like I can't even argue with that right now. It looks like that right now. Yeah, the Giants just played a tight game with the Broncos, right? So the Cowboys just beat you. As a Commanders fan, I'm hurt. I don't take nothing away from the Cowgirls. They did what they supposed to do. When you're not, this is what happens. Yeah, shout out to the Cowgirls, man. Like they came in there and they dominated and they capitalized on us. They capitalized, right? They capitalized. So I'm a little bit in shock, but that's kind of the way this season's been. It's been a crapshoot. It's been a um just an awful game. So or an awful season. So plagued with injuries. You've just everything seems like it's going wrong. Everything seems like it's going wrong. So I expect us to lose, especially with Dallas at home. I expected us to lose. Yeah. I mean, I can't say I expected us. I mean, after Debo got ruled out, yes, right? We expected that after Debo got ruled out. But this feels like the old days. This feels like 2023. I thought we were over this stuff, but apparently we're not. Apparently we're not over this stuff. Apparently we're not over it. This team has a lot of growing to do. And, the thing is, like, it wasn't just about the injuries tonight. Like, if we lost 30-29 to the Cowboys, Jaden doesn't get hurt. And you can clearly tell it's because of the injuries that we lost. Like, I would love that. But we lost because our terrible defense. We lost because we don't have a good defensive play caller. We lost because Jaden Daniels got injured as well. Like, it's just so many bad things happening tonight that it just it sucks, but we're 4 likes away from 70 likes. So make sure y'all get me to 70 likes on the stream, y'all, and make sure y'all subscribe to the channel to join the family. Make sure y'all super chat. Make sure y'all super chat, man. Any super chat would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get to 5 tonight. So the rivalry didn't go as planned. Rivalry game didn't go as planned. And you needed to win this game. You needed to win this game, man. And you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Season slowly slipping away. And Jaden Daniels is hurt. Looks like he's going to be out for a long time. And you feel like, your quarterback, Jaden Daniels, is, a little bit injury prone. Miss Jackson on Twitter said, I wish you would stop manifesting RG3 on my son. Words are powerful, and that's all that's talked about. So there's him. Or there's her, sorry, tweeting that. So, yeah. Better fans in 79. Wow. I've seen a lot darker days than this. Jaden is the quarterback of the future. They do have some pieces. They just need more time. It'll get better, bro. That's a great point. And I think that's something that we have to remember as fans. It is year 2 of the rebuild. It's year 2 of the rebuild. So there is a little bit of hope. And also, I definitely agree. Like, Jaden's still the quarterback of the future. You're not moving past that. You're not moving away from that. Jaden is the quarterback of the future, right? He's the quarterback of the future. There's no denying that at this point. But right now, it's dark. And right now, you feel like he's going to be out for a long period of time. You feel like he's going to be out for a long time. That's the issue, Other than that, though, Jaden's still the quarterback of the future. I definitely agree with you, man. Jaden Daniels getting injured because of him talking to Juju all the time. I'm not gonna intervene with his life like that. I'm not gonna say that stuff. So, I would hope not. Right? He's allowed to do what he wants. He's our quarterback, but he's allowed to do what he wants, man. You know, like at least we get a top 10 pick. We'll see. Watch us probably land top 15, right? Watch us go 7-10. And just give no hope to this fan base, right? Like, watch us do something like that, you know. But make sure y'all click that like button. Let's get to 70 likes in the stream, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Send a super chat to support, man. It's not just because of injuries that we lost, and that's something that sits with me. It's just it's not because of injuries that we lost as well. Like, it's not just because of those injuries. Everything played a part in it. Everything played a part in it. This team is playing undisciplined football. They're playing undisciplined football, and they look like losers. They look like losers. And they look like a team that doesn't care. You know, I thought they were going to all be pissed after Monday night. Like, first of all, you should have won Monday night, but they're all thought they were going to be all pissed after Monday night, and they just look like they didn't care at the end of the game. They look like they didn't care at the end of the game. So it all sucks, man. It all sucks. And it's a joke at this point. It's a joke at this point, and the season's over, and you have a lot of tough games coming up. You play on prime time a lot of the time, but drop your thoughts in the chat. Drop your thoughts in the chat. Again, upsetting loss, and the season's done. And maybe Adam Rank was right about the 7-10 Commanders, right? But on the bright side, we have a quarterback for the future, which we knew. Our quarterback for the future is hurt, but we have a quarterback for the future. That's the bright side. Nikki Javala did ask Dan Quinn if he's surprised where things are at, and Dan Quinn responded with yes, very. So, Dan Quinn, I mean, that's your fault. That's your problem. It's your fault. It's your fault. You thought we had it all figured out, man. It's your fault, Dan. Who would have thought both Jaden and Lamar would have suffered hamstring injuries? Yeah. What are the Ravens 1-5 now? I don't think they played today. So it's not just us that are plagued with injuries, but I don't even feel like talking about injuries right now because today's loss, most of today's loss was not even plagued by injuries. If we're keeping it real, most of today's loss was not even plagued by injuries. Like, that's what it feels like. We weren't going anywhere with the defense anyway. So, weren't going anywhere with the defense anyway, you know? But yeah, it is interesting, you know? It is interesting. So, I agree with that comment. On the bright side, the Giants lost. On the bright side, the Giants lost, though. But we should have known something was up when we lost to the Falcons. We should have known something was up when we lost to the Bears, you know? We should have known something was up then. But we were fooled like always. And this was inevitable. And we were fooled like always. So there's a major problem around this place. And it sucks. But let's take a look at the stats. Let's take a look at the stats, y'all. Make sure y'all all click that like button. Let's get to 70 likes in the stream. Subscribe to the channel to join the family. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let's take a look at these stats, man. Let's dive into these stats, and we'll look at these stats. See, ultimately, what the stats look like. We're 3-4 right now. The Cowboys are 3-1 right now. So let's check out the box score of this game. We'll start with the good guys. Jaden Daniels, 12 of 22. Jaden Daniels completed 12 passes today. Yes, it's because of the injuries as well, but 12 passes. That's the first problem. You completed 12 out of 22 passes. So that's terrible. 156 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble. Mariota, 4 of 10. Mariota only completes 4 passes, 63 yards, 1 interception. Jaden Daniels, 8 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. He's your leading rusher. Again, can't have it. I told y'all going into this game, we have to run the football effectively. They didn't do that. Are you serious? Are you serious, man? Mariota, 2 carries, 34 yards. Your 2 quarterbacks that played today. One that only played basically only the fourth quarter is your second leading rusher. So you can already see the problems right there. You already see the problems right there. Like those are the problems right there as well. Look at the receiving, 3 receptions, 60 yards. Jalen Lane's your leading receiver. Chris Moore, 2 receptions, 59 yards. Zach Ertz, 3 receptions, 37 yards, 1 touchdown. Robbie Chosen, 4 receptions, 36 yards. You know, so this game, again, it is a little bit on the injuries. But most of it's not because of the injuries, and I'm just keeping it real. Bobby Wagner's your leading tackle guy. Quan Martin, second leading tackler. Frankie Louvu, third leading tackler. Deron Payne, fourth leading tackler, and he was really good tonight. That's on the bright spot. That's on the bright spot. Deron Payne was really solid tonight. Let's take a look at the Cowboys here. I'll get to the comment section after this. Dak Prescott, 21 of 30, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's my fantasy quarterback, so that's the only positive out of that. Javonte Williams, 19 carries, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. Jaden Blue, 1 carry, 7 carries, 29 yards. CeeDee Lamb's the leading receiver, 5 receptions, 110 yards, 1 touchdown, first game back. What else did you expect? George Pickens, 4 receptions, 82 yards. Jake Ferguson, 7 receptions, 29 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Again, he's on my fantasy team, so that's another bright spot there. Kenneth Murray, who got hurt in this game, was the leading tackler for the Cowboys. Make sure y'all send a super chat, man. We're trying to get to 5 super chats tonight. We have 1 out of 5 super chats. So let's just get 1 more super chat, y'all. If we can get 1 more super chat, that would be greatly appreciated. It keeps the channel going, helps me out a lot. Make sure y'all smash that like button as well. Let's get to 75 likes on the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Make sure y'all subscribe. Going to hate having Marcus play on primetime games? Yeah, they're just going to be hard to watch in general. The defense getting carved up, right? It doesn't matter whether JD5 is hurt or not. We have to get faster and younger. But defense and make some trades for more picks. Find a way to get rid of Lattimore. Anybody will be better. I'd like to think that, right? I'd like to think anybody would be better than Lattimore. I don't know at this point. But you'd love to find a way to get rid of them either way. But yeah, they need to get younger and faster, right? Too many old heads on this team. Like Von Miller's not going to get it done. P. Boogie's not going to get it done. Preston Smith is not going to get it done. Von Miller's not going to get it done. Dorrance Armstrong had to play in this game. He's the only guy that can consistently get to the quarterback. That's a problem. That is a problem, guys. It's a very big problem. No depth, no discipline, no execution, no youth. Doesn't take care of the football. The slipper has officially come off the Cinderella. Shaking my damn head. That's how we all feel right now. Again, it all leads back to the summer. No discipline over the summer. Less than 1 hour of practice over the summer. No padded practices over the summer. Terry and Adam Peters over the summer. Their confusion. It all led to this. But it's very disappointing that the season is over. It's pretty sad. It is, right? It sucks, man. It sucks. And it hurts. Lattimore got gang banged by Pickens and Lamb all game long. Dude is trash, shaking my damn head. Yeah, and I that's why I was trying to tell people. I was trying to tell people this offseason. I said, why are we putting so much hope into Marshawn Lattimore? It just felt like we were putting too much hope into Marshawn Lattimore this offseason. Sure enough, we were. Way too much hope. And he's turned out to be a huge, huge problem. Major problem, man. And that's the way it went. That is the way it went today. Just Marshawn Lattimore right off the bat was just killed. Killed, man. Killed. His defensive coordinator does not help him, but Marshawn was killed right off the bat. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's get to 75 likes on this stream, y'all. Smash that like button. Let's get those likes up. Smash that subscribe button if you're new around here. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure that's done. Send a super chat to support. Any super chat helps out a lot, so make sure y'all send a super chat to support. We're trying to get like one more. This team is definitely in a rebuild. It's year 2 of a rebuild. Like, I think that's what people forget. Year 2 of a rebuild. So, and you're way ahead of schedule currently. You're way ahead of schedule currently. But yeah, it is year 2 of a rebuild, right? After 2023, they completely tore everything down. It's year 2 of Quinn, year 2 of Kingsbury, year 2 of Daniels, year 2 of Peters. It's year 2 of a lot of different things. So it is early in this process, and we feel like we can still, not this year, but in the future, we feel like we have a lot of hope still. Because again, we're still way ahead of schedule. Still way ahead of schedule, man. So, just look ahead to the future. But there's gonna have to be a lot of things taking place. You're gonna have to have a lot of different things take place, and you're gonna have to make some coaching decisions, coaching changes. Maybe Cliff leaves, maybe he doesn't. So, yeah, it's early in the process, man. It's very early in this process. But it's going to be a week of hell. This week is going to be hell for us. This week is going to be hell for us, hearing it from other people. But we did it to ourselves. And Dan Quinn loses to his former team yet again. We had the nerve to be talking about Super Bowls. I've been a fan of the team for 45 years. That's lifelong. When I no longer to see us constantly losing to bums and beating ourselves, I'll join the bowl talk. Completely agree. I mean, even this offseason, you're one game away last year. Tom Brady said it at the end of today's game. Like, this, every year changes. Every year changes. The dynamic of every year changes. You're not just going to magically get another 2024 again. Not just going to get that again. The injuries were virtually non-existent last year. You're not just going to get another year like that. So every year changes. We thought we had it all figured out, that being Dan Quinn. And you didn't. Yeah, that Super Bowl talk was childish, to be honest with you. But you were one game away last year. But again, it's not last year. Got a lot of work to do to be putting ourselves in that high of standards ever again. Got a lot of work to do. But we have the foundation, which is the quarterback, to do it. We still have the quarterback to do it. Whether he's injured or not, we still have the quarterback to do that. But we have to find our way back to that. Don't want to really watch the Chiefs, because I know exactly what is going to happen. You feel like, you feel like the defense will probably give up 40 again. I'm still going to be here for the watch party. Like, I'm still doing a watch party next week, but yeah, it sucks. And your hype and your confidence and your excitement for the team has been completely lost, especially if Daniels does not play, right? That's going to be a hard watch next week, obviously. Don't really want to watch us play the Chiefs. Okay, I already read that. I know what's going to happen, meant to say, oh, yeah, yeah, we know what's going to happen, right? Um, no team we as fans have been subjected to since 93 was even close to a championship team. I remember those teams, but we haven't ever been close. Not even last year, shaking my head. Yeah, last year was just an incomplete squad, but that's supposed to happen, right? Last year was an incomplete squad because it's year one of everything. So um, that's what you expect. But this year, we thought maybe we could find a way to um, be a dominant team. Find our way back. But you just didn't. You just don't have it this year. The defense is not enough this year. We don't have enough pieces this year. And injuries have weighed down heavily on the squad this year. Injuries have weighed down very heavily on the squad. So if we could get one more super chat, that would be greatly appreciated, guys. Let's try and push for one more super chat. So you can click the target button with the 1 out of 5 on it to send a super chat. That's how you're going to send a super chat and complete tonight's goal. So yeah, let's just try and push for one more super chat. Also, make sure you guys like up the stream. Make sure you guys get the stream to 75 likes. If you're just joining or you've been in here for a while and you haven't hit the like button, make sure you do so. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. If you're new around here, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And yeah, make sure you like this stream. Make sure you send a super chat. Any super chat would be greatly appreciated, man. Marcus Mariota's season now with Jaden likely out for the year and chance for him to show he can still be a starting caliber quarterback. Yeah, again, I'm not worried about that because I don't really care. If I'm being honest, I don't care. It's not exciting anymore because the season's done. But we'll see what Mariota does ultimately the rest of the year. I don't like this. I don't, nobody likes this either, David, right? Nobody likes this, man. Daniel should just be shut down and now the season is toast. Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do with him, man. We'll see what they decide to do. If they ultimately let him, he might play next week because he tried to come back in the game today. Like he might play next week, but I mean, ultimately you're 3-4, you're 1-4 in the conference. There's not much hope left, even if he does go next week. Mariota's ass. He's not bad, but it's going to be hard to watch him, the next few weeks, on prime time. Kind of it's kind of a Sunday where you call the season over just to feel something, right? You just feel something because you call the Sunday over or the season over, right? That's this kind of Sunday, but I don't know. Cowboys sacrifice Parsons for a Super Bowl run. Yeah. 740 for life. Yes, sir. Again, a lot of work has to be done. A lot of work has to be done to this team. A lot of work must be done to this team. Terry should have gotten the Courtland Sutton contract, to be honest with you. And the contract should have been done in June. But instead, he screwed the team and Peter screwed the team. And that's left us in complete shame. Because this season has gone to crap. This season has gone to complete crap. Just that quick. That quick. And it's gone to crap. Chiefs aren't really that good either, to be honest. They have 3 losses, I think. They're not great, but they're still going to cook us because we don't have the defense, obviously, right? The more things change, the more they apparently stay the same. Still go to Dallas and allow them to trash us even when they are trash. Yeah, again, it felt like 2023. It felt like the old days. Like when Mariota threw that pick 6, it felt like the old days. That's what it felt like to me. That's what it felt like to me. So, yeah, that's what it felt like to me. But let's try and get one more super chat, y'all. We're trying to get one more super chat. So if somebody could send a super chat, that'd be greatly appreciated. It keeps the channel moving, helps me out a lot. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around this channel, and also smash that like button if you just joined. Let's get to 75 likes on this stream. Start Marcus Mariota, trade Jaden Daniels, draft Dante Moore from Oregon. That's the kind of fan stuff that I talk about that it's like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, what are you talking about, man? That's the one thing we do have is we still have a quarterback. We still have a quarterback. That's the one thing we have. So that's the hope I have is JD5. You know, that's the only hope I have. Maybe he comes back next week and just lights it up. We're not trading Daniels. You're delusional. I know. Some people come in here and that's their way to cope with their emotions, right? Year 2 under the same staff, and there's definitely regression, no progress whatsoever, playing under the influence, a hangover or something. Shaking my head. Yeah, it just doesn't look like there's been any improvements made. It doesn't look like they've grown at all as a coaching staff, and they don't have the defense to do it, and they've had injuries that just plagued their year. Like, it's literally been a crap show. You know, Lattimore isn't an NFL starter anymore. We can't call him an NFL starter anymore. You know, like, it's just everything's kind of going wrong. Everything's kind of going wrong this year, and it's obviously not our year. So, on to 2026 though. On to 2026. You know, that's what it is at this point. On to 2026. Terry should have just signed the Cortland Sutton contract, because he's not been here to help this team out at all. And he doesn't care, to be honest. But one thing I won't stand for is the JD5 and RG3 comparisons. I'm not going to stand for that, man. I'm not going to stand for that. So, and maybe Dorrance Armstrong is probably out for the year. Like, I don't know. Words can't describe how upsetting, how pathetic, how sad this loss is. Must-win game. Must-win game for this team. And you're not able to pull it out. And DQ looks defeated. I mean, DQ in his press conference, DQ just looked defeated. I think that the next few weeks, I don't think there's going to be any hype around the team. I think everybody's going to be going out there and just defeated. That's what I feel like. It's over this year. It is over this year, and it's awful. So make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's get to 75 likes in the stream. Smash that like button if you've not done so. Let's get those likes up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. Send a super chat to support. You can click the target button with the 1 out of 5 on it to send a super chat. That's how you're going to directly support the channel, and that's how you're going to ensure your comment is ready to support me directly. So DQ is all talk at this point, acting pissed off, and nothing ever changes. And he's going to come with the word soup tomorrow, like, I'm really not in the mood to hear Dan Quinn tomorrow. I'm not in the mood to hear Dan Quinn tomorrow at all. So, yeah, he's going to come in here with this BS tomorrow, but he looks defeated. Dan Quinn on the hot seat soon? Not yet. Again, I'm not ready to have these head coach talks yet. Like, I'm not it's me personally, I'm not ready to have these head coach talks yet. But he's definitely not coached this team is the best that he can. The offseason, that's some of his fault. The missed tackles, that's some of his fault. The undisciplined football, that's some of his fault. But I wouldn't say he's on the hot seat necessarily. Do you think it's time to have a conversation about Adam Peters at this point, or is it too early? I would say it's fairly too early. I mean, what mistakes has he really made? What mistakes has he really made besides trading for Marshawn Lattimore? Like, I just feel like there's still for DQ and AP, there's a lot of time, man. Like I'm not gonna sit here and have conversations about them. Um, yeah, I don't think they're on the hot seat. I don't think they're on the hot seat at all. But Dan Quinn just said he's not surprised, or he is surprised where they're at right now. Like he's shocked, like we are, that the season has gone, this bad, right? Real contenders beat the teams they should beat. Falcons, Bears. Why don't you beat them? They don't constantly end losing streaks, hand out career best games. That's the only thing we've done with any consistency since the 90s. Yeah, without any consistency. Yeah. This season was way too inconsistent to be sustainable. You couldn't sustain and have hopes of a playoff season with the way that that how inconsistent you were. I mean, it was loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. Now you're back-to-back losses and you're really cooked now, but it was just way too inconsistent before anyway. The start to this year was awful. Concerned about what update Dan Quinn is going to have for Jaden Daniels. I'm a little bit concerned, right? Obviously, it's a hamstring. We know that. Obviously, he's probably going to be out for the next few games, but I am concerned a little bit. We'll see what updates he gives. He'll probably just say, we'll have to wait till Wednesday. That's what he'll probably say. It's a hamstring. Yeah, obviously it's a hamstring, right? But we don't know the exact issues, so he could be out for the year. He could be out for a game. He could come back next week. We don't know that any of it yet. Because again, he wanted to come back in this game. So that's a positive sign. I heard Jaden and Terry could be placed on IR. That's very possible. Like at least Terry, that's kind of the speculation I've been having. I think Terry could ultimately be placed on IR. That's what I feel like. I think I could see him going on IR. Jaden, I don't think he'll go on IR, but I don't know. Again, we don't know the severity of the injury yet, so I don't know. But make sure y'all click that like button. Connor, if you could help me out with that super chat goal, that'd be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get one more super chat, y'all, and we're trying to gain as many subscribers as possible, man. We're trying to grow this community, so smash that like button on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and send a super chat to support this channel, man. A lot of questions on this defensive wide receiver group I have for AP, but what do I know? Yeah, I do have a lot of questions there, but I still think it's too early to have conversations about AP. So that's just me. I feel like it's too early for conversations about AP, but it's certainly a crapshoot this year. Certainly bad this year, man. Certainly bad this year. And some of that does fall on AP, right? But DQ's been a bad coach as well. You can't sit here and lie. DQ's been a bad coach as well. He has led his football team to be undisciplined. This has been an undisciplined football team for the reasons that I've already explained. I've already said the bad tackling. I've already said the undisciplined penalties. I've already said the less than an hour training camp practices. I said that last week. I've already said the no padded up training camp practices. I've already talked about that. And it's all led to this. Because it also leads to injuries. And injuries have led to this as well. Everything of this year, what made this year inevitable was the summer. It just, the summer was bad from the start. The summer was bad from the start. And there was no hope. The thing that concerns me for Jaden is what MRI is going to show, because you never know. They walk fine and stuff, but MRI shows another thing. Yeah, the Packers game, he played. The Packers game, the dude played again, and he was out for the next 2 weeks. So, yeah, you're right. You never know. But I feel like he could come back sort of soon, right? Because again, he tried to get back in the game. He tried to get back in the game. That's the thing. So make sure y'all click that like button if you have not done so. Let's get to 75 likes on this stream, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around this channel. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you send a super chat. We're trying to get one more super chat on this stream, y'all. So somebody send a super chat to end that goal if you could. That would be greatly appreciated. Keeps the channel running, man. Wags is a tackling machine as long as you run at him. He waited for Dak to run at him. He waited for Dak to run at him. Should you so happen to run past him, you're going to keep running. He slows cold molasses, shaking my head. Yeah, for sure. Right? Like he's been bad this year. He's been slow and bad this year. He can't cover this year. He's coming to an end real quick. So Joe Witt needs to bring his ass out of the booth and to the sideline for some actual coaching. I agree, Travis. You know, try something. Like if you're not going to fire Witt, at least tell him to come down for the press box and see if anything changes there. Like at this point, if you're Witt, you're on your last straw as a coach, right? You don't have much left as a defensive coordinator. So try whatever you can. You know, that's what I'm saying. So get that chunky soup eating chump out of my city. That commercial's funny, by the way. I would think about shutting down JD5. 2 injuries now in the year, not great. Depends on the severity of it. Either way, the season is a wash. Yeah, either way, the season's a wash. And, you know, you play Jaden, right? Because when you have Jaden on the field, anything can happen. So you play Jaden if he's medically cleared to go. But, yeah, he's certainly been fragile this year. He's certainly been, you know, bad this year with injuries because he's been fragile, obviously. But I think they'll play him anyway. I mean, they just don't they don't want to take any more losses, obviously. Like you can't take any more losses, man. But yeah, you're right. Season's already a wash anyway. Season's already washed anyway. You know, this offseason we had unrealistic expectations. That's what happened. Unrealistic expectations this offseason. And that's what happens when you have unrealistic expectations, man. So very unrealistic expectations. Realize defenses play better when coordinator is down at the field. That could be, you know, that's could be true. That could be true, right? I can't tell you that for sure. There's been plenty of good defensive coordinators that have, you know, been up in the box, but certainly it seems like most do better on the field. So again, you're at the point where if you're Joe Witt, you're trying anything. You're trying anything to keep your job. And so if that involves you, you know, coming on the field, and this is me for all seriousness here. I'm saying this in all seriousness. In all seriousness. You worry about Joe Witt Jr.'s vision. I'm saying this in all seriousness. I'm not making fun of the dude. Like, just bring him down the field. See what he can do down on the field. Genuinely, see what he can do on the field. Try something different. You just need to try something. Try something different. Right? Try something a little bit different. Because again, you're at your last straw if you're Joe Witt Jr. You're trying to keep your job. You're trying to keep your job if you're Joe Witt Jr. So that's, you know, that's what you're trying to do. Pickens, Lamb, unacceptable. They just balled on us. They killed us. Killed us. I don't even think the season is a wash. It's still early. 3-4 isn't great, but it isn't the worst either. It's headed that way fast, though. Downhill, no breaks. Guys have to step up. With the schedule coming up, that's the problem. And also just our defense. Like, you know they're going to give up 30-plus a week. And with all the offensive injuries we have, are we really going to be able to score 30 points each week? Like, that's the problem, man. If our defense was just halfway decent, If our defense was just halfway decent, you know? But Raphael, thanks for the support, man. If you could help us reach that super chat goal, that'd be greatly appreciated. You can click the target button with the 0 or with the 1 out of 5 on it to do so. You click continue from there. Facts, hamstrings are tricky like that. Shaking my head. Yeah. Yeah. So tomorrow is Tell the Truth Monday, right? Yes. The truth is we are unprepared and unserious since July, for being honest. I completely agree. I completely agree. Unserious group of guys, unserious coach. Again, you thought you had it all figured out. You thought you had it all figured out. If y'all just joined, make sure you smash that like button. Let's get to 75 likes on this stream, y'all. I need all of y'all in here to smash that like button. You thought you had it all figured out. So, on to the 2026 season. That's what it looks like. It's what it looks like. You're 1-4 in your conference. You've virtually lost Jaden Daniels for the season. You know, it looks like that way. If I'd be fair, at our state, at state at the start of the season, just making the offs will be good for me. Yeah, for sure. And we're not going to make the playoffs, I don't think. But yes, just making the playoffs would be fine with me at this point. That's where I'm at right now. So that's where I'm at right now. So yes, if we make the playoffs, I will be very, very happy, very encouraged. But we're not making the playoffs. Let's not fool ourselves into that. Again, this season was inevitable. This season was very inevitable. It all seemed too good to be true anyway. Poor conditioning. That's the result. You know, you're looking at the result of less than 1 hour training camp practices. You're looking at the result of guys that get rest days every Wednesday. You're looking at the result of just an undisciplined football team. That's what you're looking at. That's what you're looking at right now. Lattimore need to go. They saved $16 million in cap if he goes. So, I mean, maybe, you know. But the expectations were just so high. You know, that's what really kills all this. If we had expectations being 7-10, then okay. But we had expectations of winning a lot this year. And I feel like Dan Quinn and Adam Peters have never truly experienced this fan base upset. They never experienced this fan base upset. And it is about to get ugly in this fan base. It is about to get very ugly. I'm just warning y'all. Seems like this team didn't stress much in the offseason. No. Again, they thought they had it all figured out. They knew everything. They knew what was going to happen. They knew that they would be great again. They knew that they would go to the NFC Championship again. And they just didn't even put the effort in the offseason. No effort in the offseason. We're about to get embarrassed in 2 primetime games in a row. That's what it feels like. We are about to get embarrassed in 2 primetime games in a row. These guys better wake up. I don't care if they feel like the season's over. I don't care what they think. They have to wake up. You can't get embarrassed the rest of the year. Can't get embarrassed the rest of the year. And we're sellers now at this point. We're sellers at the deadline now. That's what it feels like. You know, that's what it feels like. So it's very upsetting, this performance. Very upsetting. Dominated by the Dallas Cowboys, 44-22. 44-22. At the end of the day, we did not capitalize on what we needed to do. We didn't capitalize on the Bears. We didn't capitalize on the Falcons. We just didn't take care of teams that we needed to take care of, and you're seeing the results of that. You're seeing us be 1-4 in the conference now. You know, we're 1-4 in the conference now for a reason. We're 1-4 in the conference now. It's not pretty. It for dang sure is not pretty, man. Um, would you trade Terry for a young guy if you had a chance or no? Um, it depends on who we're talking, because I said I wasn't off the Terry train last week. I'm off the Terry train now because at this point he's becoming um a problem. Like he's making us lose, and he clearly doesn't care to get back. So it depends on what guy we're talking about. Give me some trade options, like and we'll talk. Give me some trade options and we'll talk. Right? That's what I feel like at this point. But we're trying to get one more super chat, guys. That's all we're trying to get is one more super chat, y'all. So please, can we get one more super chat? Help me reach that goal, man. And also smash that like button. Let's get to 75 likes in the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Make sure you all subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe, man. We're on this push for 3K. And so, but most importantly, man, what helps out the channel the most is a super chat. So make sure y'all send a super chat, man, to support this channel. Kevin Sheehan, after the game, I always like to read his post games. He said, defense is truly horrible. Feels like a moment where a move is made. Jaden wasn't great before he got hurt, but with that said, they have no chance to have a good season if he's in and out of the lineup. Yeah, I mean, Daniels has to be more consistent, right? Like, it just feels like that's going to be a problem. Him being hurt is going to be a problem. But I'm not going to sit here and compare him to RG3. I'm not going to do that. So that's the one thing we're not going to do on this channel. So I'm not going to compare him to that. But him being injured is a problem. So, for sure. Undisciplined football team. That's what it comes down to. Undisciplined football team. We lost at the start today. We lost to Jerry World today. It's upsetting. It sucks, man. It sucks. Jalen Waddle, Olave, or maybe even Jacoby Myers. I guess, right? Like maybe you take a shot on one of them. I guess. Why not, man? If Terry's not going to play. Look on the bright side, have an extra 3 hours to do stuff on Sunday. No need to watch this team. Yeah. You have a lot of time the next Sunday, right? Extra time on Sunday. It's I'd rather be good and watch this team though. So make sure y'all that are active in the chat though, if any of y'all can send a super chat, that would be greatly appreciated. Again, I already told y'all goal is one more super chat. So we're only trying to get one more super chat, man. Terry didn't travel with the team yet. Puka traveled with the Rams to London. Terry been acting different since he got paid. Money really changes you, dog. Yeah, I mean, he fought for that money all off season. He's greedy and he's changed, but still my favorite Washington player of all time. It hurts, it hurts deep down to watch that. But how can he be consistent if the weapons around him change every second like Bitcoin? That's also a huge problem. Again, he had Chris Moore as wide receiver 1 Monday and today. That's also a huge problem. It's also a huge problem. So, yeah, I don't expect him to be very consistent then, Jaden Daniels needs to be traded. No. Again, Jaden Daniels is the one good thing that we do have still. I know when healthy, Jaden Daniels is one of the best things we still have here. So I wouldn't go that far, man. I wouldn't go that far. And I also wouldn't go as far as to say, Dan Quinn and Adam Peters, their jobs are safe, obviously. So Stephon Diggs literally looking better than Terry, and Diggs is older. Yeah, Diggs has been looking good. Diggs has been looking good. Maybe we should have gotten Diggs. Exactly, I agree. What do you expect JD to do with what he's been given to work with? Yeah, I mean, that's that's certainly a big argument that you have to make. Um, he's been given Chris Moore. Um, he's been given, no talent. He's been given guys that don't care like him. He's been given an uncompetitive roster. So he's been given a wide receiver in Terry McLaurin that doesn't care, that doesn't fight through injuries. So you're right. But hey, on to 2026, man. This sucks. Cowboys the best team. We own y'all. Y'all didn't play a real defense. I mean, I hope you know y'all didn't play a real defense. I hope you know that half the team was injured. But who am I? Who am I to say anything? Who am I to say anything, man? Cancun this early, man. Cancun this early. I mean, it just doesn't feel like we're going to be all right. Just doesn't feel like we're going to be all right. But I already told y'all one more super chat, man. We're trying to get one more super chat on the stream today. So if y'all could help me reach that goal, that would be so greatly appreciated. One more super chat is all we're trying to get. They really let Jaden down this year. I'm pissed. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, again, for me, it's more like I'm upset. I'm not pissed. I'm more upset. Keep making excuses, go Cowboys. I'll give y'all the dub tonight, man. Y'all can have it. But y'all didn't play real defense. So Dak is good though. Dak's playing like a top 5 quarterback right now. Dak is playing better than my quarterback right now. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Some real changes need to be made from this Washington Commanders team. Adam Peters always looks for older talent and should look for young talent. That's what he's done this offseason. That's what he's done this offseason is just go out there for the old. Oh, he thought old veterans were the answer, and they're not. He thought old veterans were the answer. Is there a way I can simulate to next season? Can I simulate to next season and not be 3-4? Like, man, this really sucks, dude. Man, this really sucks. I mean, George Pickens just fried us. CeeDee Lamb just fried us. Like, Terry McLaurin was a leader. Terry McLaurin was your leader. And all of a sudden, you didn't treat him like one. Terry McLaurin was the leader. I think Doc Walker made a great point. By the way, guys, let's get to 75 likes in the stream. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Make sure you send a super chat, guys. Again, we're trying to get one more super chat. That's all we're trying to get, one more super chat. So if we can push for one more super chat, that'd be greatly appreciated, man. Doc Walker said this after the game. He said, Terry McLaurin was your leader, and then all of a sudden you didn't treat him like one. Now, Terry McLaurin didn't act like a leader, but you didn't treat Terry McLaurin like your leader. I kind of agree with that. And the team split apart. Leave Joe Witt in Dallas, bro. I'm not going to lie. Need young receivers and young talent, honestly. Yeah, and we need guys that can stay healthy. The Jaden disrespect, a lot of people are shaming him right now. A lot of people are shaming him right now. We had no business losing these last 2 weeks, shaking my head. Yeah, we didn't, no business losing the past few weeks. So, I mean, no business losing the Falcons either. Like that's what this year came down to, was like you just lost games that you weren't supposed to lose. You lost games that you weren't supposed to lose. You didn't capitalize on anything. You didn't capitalize on anything. You can't be 1-4 in your conference and expect to go out there and you know, you can't be 1-4 in your conference and go out there and expect to have a chance at the playoffs and expect to have a chance at anything. Like everything's been awful this offseason, man. Everything has just killed us. Like we just don't have any momentum. We just don't have any momentum. We just don't have any guys that can get it done, to be honest with you. Um, let's try and push for 100 likes in the stream, y'all. Let's try and push for 100 likes in the stream. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We're 3 subscribers away from 2,550. So everyone in here, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you send a super chat to support. We need all super chats we can get to keep this channel going, to help me out a lot, man. So everyone keeps crapping on the defense, but before the last 45 seconds of the first half, they actually held it down. The offense looked like 11 zombies running around the field. Yeah, I mean, the defense sometimes was good. Like the defense held it together some, but you just knew there was going to be a breaking point, right? You just knew as long as the offense couldn't get it going, and as long as the offense had drives where they weren't going to score, you just knew that the defense at some point would give this game away. And they did. At the end of the game, after Jaden got hurt, everybody gave up. The run game for the Cowboys was flourishing. 2 touchdowns for Jake Ferguson, letting him throw it all over you and run the ball over you. Like it's, so you knew they were going to break at some point, but they did an okay job at first. Can't say Jaden's having a sophomore slump because he's not consistently turning the ball over, but is missing wide open throws. Yeah. He is missing wide open throws. He's missing throws that he doesn't normally miss. But I don't think it's a sophomore slump either, man. Look at who he's working with. 7 of those 44 points was a pick 6. Yeah. I mean, Marcus, again, that's where it felt like last year. That's where the vibes felt like last year. The vibes felt like last year when we were sitting there and we watched Marcus Mariota throw a pick 6. The vibes felt like last year at that point. At that point, we knew we were screwed. This team's a joke. You're going to have to make serious changes tomorrow. I hope they fire Joe Witt Jr. tomorrow. That's me. I hope they fire Joe Witt Jr. tomorrow. Because I just can't watch another game with Joe Witt Jr. I can't watch the Chiefs game. Maybe JD5 is a virus. Mojo, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Thank you, Mojo, for the super chat. Really greatly appreciate you for all the support you give to the channel. Thank you for being in the comment section of every live stream. He writes, "Keep your head up, dog. We don't coach or play." Facts. I don't coach or play, so I shouldn't let this take over my life this much, but it does, and it's in my blood. So, but appreciate you, Mojo. Thank you, man. I'm gonna go like that. Yeah, so I'll like that in the comment section. Yeah, I shouldn't let it take control of me this much, but it's kind of when you do this content stuff for a job, it's kind of does take over your life. So I love this team, and I've said this for a while. I love this team, but they don't love me. They don't love me, and they really they haven't loved me since last year. So appreciate you for the super chat, though. We're 3 super chats away from our goal. We are 3 super chats away from our 5 super chat goal, y'all. So make sure y'all smash that like button, though. Let's get to 80 likes in the stream. No excuse we didn't play a real defense either. They own us except for when it counts. Yeah, We didn't play real defense, but we didn't have any of our offensive guys either. So felt like Sam Howell vibes in that Thanksgiving game in 2023. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Like that pick six just felt like that's a feeling I haven't felt in a long time. And again, I'm braced for it, but that's a feeling I haven't felt in a long, long, long time. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Subscribe. We're 3 subscribers away from 2,550. Where the refs rigged the game, the Cowboys can't keep getting away with this. We didn't lose because of the refs. We didn't lose because of injuries. But there was a few questionable calls. There was a few questionable calls, man, for sure. I understand if you're pissed about the refs, but that's not the reason we lost the game. I'm not a big guy to sit here and blame the refs, but, you know, there was some questionable calls today. That's what I'll say. There was some questionable calls today, for sure. So, how much turnover and personnel are we going to have in the offseason? It's a lack of knowing what the game plan is, honestly. That's what it is. That's what the lack of is, you know. We just lost a subscriber, so we are 4 subscribers away from 2,550 subscribers, man. So we need 4 more to reach that goal. Make sure y'all smash that like button if you have not done so yet. Drop your thoughts in the comment section about this game. Appreciate y'all for all the support. We're 3 super chats away from our goal for tonight. The team played horrible today. Was Lattimore the only person on the team to guard Pickens and Lamb? No adjustment made as well, in my opinion. They never try to make adjustments. They never try to make adjustments. That's the problem. There's never any adjustments made. They just let Lattimore continue to get cooked. They did it last year. If Joe Witt is fired, who would you bring in? Dan Quinn. I would just let Dan Quinn take over the play calling duties, I guess. But Dan Quinn said after today's game, he said, I'm very talkative in Joe's ear, and I let him know, you know, what I think we should do here, right? Like, if you let that happen, is that going to be a big, drastic change? Like, I just don't know if you're going to make a major improvement without Joe Witt. Joe Witt is tied to Dan Sam. I agree. I agree. And that's why I feel like they would ride it out to the end of the year. He's like, hey, Joe, I'm sorry. You're done. I just don't see Dan Quinn doing that. We're not winning shit this year if we can't beat a top 32 defense. Yeah, well, the season's over. Again, I hate to say this. I hate to say it, but the season's over. All right, season's done. So now you just focus on next year, to be honest. So where everybody's get right game. Yeah, and I'm sick and tired of watching. I'm sick and tired of being everybody's get right game. I'm sick and tired of being that team that you get right on. I'm sick and tired of unlocking DeAndre Swift. I'm tired of unlocking DeAndre Swift, getting him going. Of course, we're the team to let rinsed, washed, and tumbled DeAndre Swift get going. Of course, we're the team to let CeeDee Lamb come back and get 110 receiving yards. That's the stuff I'm tired of. That's the stuff I'm tired of, man. I'm tired of it, bro. And it's getting hard to deal with at this point. It's very, very, very hard to deal with at this point. But that's what you get when you're a freaking Washington Commanders fan. You mean a bottom 32 defense? At this rate, we could do a better job than these non-tackling bums. Every game, it's Lattimore getting cooked. Peters got fleeced. Dog. Yeah, you know, Saints are smart. Saints are smart for that, you know. I'm not going to say that at the time I wouldn't have made that move either if I'm the GM. I think we all liked the move at the time, but certainly has been disgusting and has not worked out. It does look like he has gotten fleeced, right? Chargers and Bills feel like pretenders to be honest. So it's not just us. Yeah, I guess. Like, I'm more worried about us than anything. So it's hard for me to look at other teams and say they're pretenders, but we're pretenders as well. So yeah, you know, we would have won if Diggs didn't get hurt. um, if Diggs didn't get hurt. So who are you talking about? Because there's no Diggs on the Commanders. So who are you a fan of? Let me know. But for us, for us as a team, ugly loss today, guys. Ugly loss today. I'm sick. It hurts, but I, nothing else to say. Nothing else to say. Like nothing else to say. My point exactly. It's been like that for the better part of 3 decades until that one thing changes. Can't talk about Super Bowls and barely playoffs. Contenders wash the scrubs. Contenders take care of teams like the Falcons. Contenders take care of teams like the Bears when other teams in your division lose, and we're not prepared. Like it's almost like you could tell from the jump. Like we're just not that team this year. We're just not that team this year. You know, we are just not that team this year. We're not ready for the bright lights this year. We're not ready. We're not ready this year. We're not ready to be a contender this year. And again, it is only year 2 of the rebuild. So that's some hope, I guess. You do still have a quarterback in Jaden Daniels, but it hurts, for sure. This one, a must-win game. It stings. This one stings for sure. But season's done. And you'll have those people saying the season's not over. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. The team ain't winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, not with this defense, not with this defensive coordinator, not with this sorry cornerback in Marshawn Lattimore. You just don't have the pieces right now. It's simple. You don't have the pieces right now, so they'll regroup and they will get back on track. I don't doubt that, but I do doubt them making the playoffs or doing anything this year. They're not going to do anything else the rest of this year. So it's on to next year. It is on to next year, man. And it sucks and it hurts and it's painful. But that is what you go through as a Washington Commanders fan. The offense sucks and can't score for shit. And the defense, the offense is fine, Make sure y'all give me the 80 likes in the stream. I'll smash that like button. If there's anybody in here that is not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. This team doesn't love any of us. Don't feel bad. I was freaking 12 years old the last time we were a serious team, shaking my head. I mean, last year we were a serious team, but we weren't able to, contend for the Super Bowl. But I feel like we were a serious team last year. They were on a mission last year. This year, we're not serious. So, but yeah, I mean, the team doesn't love any of us. The team doesn't care, obviously. So I'm still going to care about them, though. I'm not going to wrap myself in this for the rest of the year. I think it's going to be more about the draft. I'm going to be focused on the draft, right? That's what I'm going to be focused on right now is the draft. Because we know the season's over. But I'm still going to watch all the games and every second of those games. So would be surprised if they can win 3 or more games because the defense sucking so bad. Yeah. When you're going to have these offensive injuries, get something, right? Get something squared away. You're going to have these offensive injuries. You can't have a bad defense. If this defense was halfway decent, we may have a shot in some of these games, but they're just not halfway decent. So make sure y'all smash that like button if you're just joining. Let's get to 80 likes in the stream, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're sitting here and you're not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you do so. You won't regret it. We are 4 subscribers away from 2,550. And send a super chat to support. Any super chat helps out a lot. So we're 3 super chats away from our goal for tonight. We lost to a top 15 quarterback. I would say Dak Prescott's top 10. So that's what I would say. He's playing like a top 10 quarterback right now. Yeah, like a blatant PI. They turned a blind eye to, but called the same exact penalty the same way on Lattimore earlier in the game. Yeah, I saw that. I know. It's the refs were inconsistent in this game. It felt like there was a penalty after every single play. The penalties on us were just undisciplined football, though. Like we just played undisciplined football, if we're being honest around here. So we played undisciplined football and we lost. So we're about to be flexed out of a lot of these primetime games, and it's ugly. It's ugly, man. Again, we're about to be flexed out of a lot of these primetime games. So it's going to get ugly, and the fan base is going to get divided. But one thing's for sure. You'll see me on the watch party next week versus the Chiefs because I'm not giving up. Hopefully Jaden goes next week, but it does not look good, to say the least. The defense reminds me of the Bengals defense last year where they had a good offense but terrible defense. Honestly, yeah. The Bengals defense last year was giving up 30 points a game. That's what our defense is doing. I don't know, like I'm being honest with this. I don't know if they're that as bad as the Bengals defense last year, but I mean, they're dang near close. They're close because they just suck, So we lost to a quarterback who paints his nails. That was the painful part of Monday night as well, was you lose to a quarterback who's gay. So that Bears game is really gonna suck because we won that. We won that. And you had a chance to get to 4 wins. 4-2. We'd be 4-3 now after this loss. But you didn't capitalize. And you didn't capitalize on your other division teams losing. You didn't capitalize. You didn't capitalize. Good teams capitalize. Good teams find a way to get it done. But of course they didn't do that. Of course they didn't do that. Because that's what this team does. But that's going to do it for me. We just went for 2 hours, 27 minutes, and 30 seconds. So appreciate all of y'all for holding me down, rocking with me on this post-game stream. That was a long one. Commanders took the L 44-22. I need y'all all to smash that like button on the way out. I need y'all all to get me to 80 likes on the way out. I need y'all all to subscribe to the channel on the way out. I'll see y'all tomorrow because y'all know I do content daily. We have content on this channel every single day. Click that notification bell to get all the notifications for when I'm going live or when a video comes out. Make sure y'all do that, man. But click the like button on the way out as well. Rough one. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Once I sleep on this, we'll break this game down more into some more. We'll look into this more. We'll look into it for sure more. So that's going to do it for me. Hail to the Washington Commanders. As always, leave a like on the way out. Love y'all.